This all started off as a class project out of College for Creative Studies here in Detroit. And I was studying product design at the time and ended up getting my degree in product design, so no fashion background and no experience in sewing. And this was a class project out of a studio. And the whole point of the studio was to design to fill actual needs rather than design pretty, shiny, fast things that ended up becoming trash, and how to actually fill needs with products. And so I ended up spending a lot of time on the streets in this area, specifically in a shelter called NSO. Having the people on the streets be a part of the design process became really important, and then eventually realizing that the coat itself didn't really matter. Because really a coat is a Band-Aid for a bigger, more systemic issue. And I only realized that when going back to the shelter with this finished coat sleeping bag, and at the time it wasn't exactly the sleekest thing in the world, going back to the shelter with this coat, there was a woman that actually ended up yelling at me. And she's saying, we don't need coats, we need jobs. And she was entirely correct, because a coat, like I said, on its own, doesn't amount to much, but it has far more impact when it can affect the people in the community in a way of not just giving them something, but helping them stay employed and really employ the people that were going to receive the coat in the first place.
When I first came to the empowerment plan, I was homeless at the time, and now I see a lot of people with the coat on, and I tell them, I stop and tell them I'm happy to see it on them, and I made that coat, I'm with the company that makes it, and they thanks me. They said, it's really warm, and it's like, wow. So, it's a blessing. I look at it as a great blessing.
We only hire from shelters because usually the people inside of those shelters are pretty much blacklisted from a lot of other jobs. And they're really not valued as much as they should be, and as seen as somebody that can learn and grow and rise to a challenge and come out the other side even stronger than when they started. So we hire for multiple different reasons, but these are the people that are not normally given that chance to apply for jobs. And I go in there saying, this is your opportunity for a clean slate. One of the things I enjoy the most is seeing the transition someone makes when they first start with us to the person they really are. Everyone we hire is kind of in a survival mode. They're not sure where they're sleeping at night. They're not sure where their next meal is going to come from. They're not positive about any of that. So they're living kind of from moment to moment. And they're still also out there looking for jobs and looking for employment, ways to get in money. And that person has pushed all of their actual personality, who they are, down so much to just survive and to take care of their family. And so seeing somebody come in and they're always very quiet, and I can tell you this is the same for everyone on here, they're like, oh, everybody's so quiet. They're very dedicated to the job. They want to prove that they're not going to fail, that they're worth it, that it was worth taking a risk on them. And I don't think of it as a risk. I think of it as a great investment in someone. And so they're so quiet, and then a couple months as we go on and as we give them that opportunity to make mistakes and not have it be the end of the world or the end of their job, they start to open up a lot more, and then the personalities come out. And then the hair gets done, and the nails and the clothes, and all of a sudden there is this person again with an identity that is theirs and not in survival mode. Never in a million years did I think that a class project I did while going to school, it would ever become a business, let alone anything that actually had a real lasting effect on anybody. To know that the women feel more stable and that they can offer and provide a better life for their kids, that they know where they're going to sleep at night, that know they can feed and clothe their children, that they're going to have a meal ready for them when they come home from school, and know that they can get them to school, are all things I'm so happy, and I wouldn't have even believed years ago if you told me that I could have done.